Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello and welcome to what episode was it? 154? Four for four of the Film Blurs. I'm Jeff Stewart, aka Uncle Jeffrey, aka J. Otis Dynamite, a.k.a. Praetorian Jeff, a.k.a. He Who Remains, a.k.a. Petty Ruxpin, a.k.a. Little Tom, a.k.a. this motherfucker, a.k.a. to be determined, the Black Giovanna Ribisi, Chocolate Tarantino, Ebony Spielberg, the final boss. And I'm joined here, as always, with my friend and co-host.
What's up, you fucking ball bags? It's Brandon Norwood, a.k.a. Hero Protagonist, a.k.a. the true father of Joe, Kanye, and Drake's kids. Yo, I'm like Journey Smollett. I'm like her ex-husband, just collecting $7K a month. Yo, you see? Is
it $7K a month?
Yo, it's devious because it came out yesterday, and I saw it this morning right before we started recording. This nigga's like, he gets $7K a month. He already collected almost $1 million in divorce settlement from her. And now he's taking her back to court because he wants half of her SAG pension, half of her earnings. I'm like, damn, even I'm not a scumbag, because now I'm just like, bro, you on some scumbag level shit. Like $7K a month. If you can't make $7K a month with already getting $1 million, that's on you, bro.
Like, here's the, I mean, you can talk about it, but like, here's the fucking thing: is Juicy Smoothie, right? Like,
Journey.
Oh, it's Journey. It's really like how many Smollets are there? There's like 18 of them.
Yeah.
Right.
But like I've seen his name is something with a J. Josiah Bell. He's a quote unquote R&B singer, so you know what that means. That's the other nigga equivalent of I'm working on my mixtape.
Yo, check out my SoundCloud.
Yo, I'm like, my nigga, you're getting $7K a month. You got $1 million in the divorce settlement. At what point, like, you want half? She's been acting since she was 3 years old, and you're like, yo, I want half of your SAG earnings. The fuck?
Like that is like half.
Yo, he wants half of everything she earns, bro.
How long were they married
apparently, for? Like 6 years.
Half after 6 years? Fuck that.
They have one kid. Right. They have one kid. Apparently, he also wants half of her 401k.
What?
Yeah. I was just like, yo, her retirement money?
For 6 years? After, like, come on.
And if you Google him, I was just like, oh, you look like Baby Keem, and that's not a compliment.
Well, you finished your AKs. Let me look up Josiah Bell.
AKA Papi Chulo, still sticking Molly in all the women in your life's butt and getting them pregnant. How you like that? AKA the Glizzy King. What do you see when you see a grown man eating a glizzy? Hey, yo. AKA the Lethal Protector. AKA it's Morbin time. AKA Ezekiel Sims, bad ADR, don't match my mouth. AKA Craven with the K. AKA my biggest pet peeve is sports because I don't like seeing grown men sweat on each other. AKA on a Subaru Outback with mass strippers in the back giving shape-ups. AKA Ruff McGruff, shoot out your kneecaps and take your drug money. Ruff's coming. Hey, yo, Ruff's coming. AKA these nuts in your mouth. AKA B-Wood, the Magnificent.
So I looked up Josiah Bell. This Negro looks like
Baby King.
He looks like he got struck by lightning, was in a coma, right? Mm-hmm. And his permanent look is that look you have when you first come out of a coma, just mouth agape, just confused looking as fuck.
Yo, like my man, like, yo, listen, if I was in this situation, I'd be happy. I'm like, yo, I'm getting $7K a month. I got $1 million. Like, Jeff, you know what I could do with $7K a month?
Man, anything you wanted.
Like, goddamn,
Right?
$7K, bro. I would have so much money because I would probably only spend so little of that shit that after a couple of years, nigga, you be seeing me. I'd be having my own season at the White Lotus. Yo, who I need to talk to get a White Lotus Dr. Odyssey crossover?
I mean, talk to Mike White. I mean, shit.
Yeah, bro. Don't you think that's a little excessive?
Don't be mad that your career didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. Right?
You still living high on the hog, my man.
This motherfucker looking like fucking Black Frankenstein.
Like, damn. Give the fucked up hair. My man, at some point, I'm just like, yo, just get a job, bro. If you need more money, just get a job.
Like, this nigga look like he's doing the most fucked up kid and play cosplay ever with that fucking, like, janky fucking flat top.
Yo, listen, when it happened to Britney Spears with Kevin Federline, we're all just like, yo, listen, it's hard for us to feel bad for you because, like, that was day one where we're just like, yo, word?
Like,
yo,
yeah,
word?
But Britney was crazy. Like, Britney was off, like, at that time, Britney was going through some shit, right? So I can't blame Britney for that.
But this shit here,
this shit
even he
here.
makes Kevin Federline look like a saint because when they settled, it ain't like he went back and asked for more.
Right.
How you,
like,
yo, I like
how you
how you go lower than a known scumbag. Like day one, we're just like, oh, you're a scumbag.
Like, think about that. You are a worse ex-husband than Kevin Federline, right? Think about that. Like, that's your life.
You gotta work for that,
right? And you're Black, so you're just making us all look bad. Like, you're making us look bad.
Damn, my man's really he must listen to the show. It must take my AKA real serious.
Oh man.
So before we get into the Oscars, because that's what a lot of our first segment's going to be on, Amazon is actively pursuing Nolan for Bond.
Yeah,
I get it. Like,
yeah.
Yo, now that Amazon controls it, I'm like, yo, y'all might as well hit up Spielberg too, because y'all, yo, he's owed one. Hit up Danny Boyle, he's owed one.
Like,
you might as well get Danny on the phone.
Get ready for a $350 million Bond film.
That will never make its money back. Because the last one cost $200, and that shit did not make its money back.
So yeah, get ready for fucking Christopher Nolan's Bond with the $350 million budget.
I'll be real. If they do get that roster for the next Bond, I'm just like, I don't think we need to continue James Bond after that.
Right? Because, like, where are you gonna go?
Yo,
like, what do you?
Yo,
like, you get all the living.
Yeah, Nolan, Boyle, Spielberg, and then Denis. All four people who have been trying to make one. Like, yeah, if they really do get those four directors, I'd just be like, imagine if my career popped off and they're like, yo, you got your pick of the litter. Amazon wants you to do the next Bond. I'd be like, absolutely not.
Right. Like no one wants those sloppy seconds.
I'm not putting out. Yeah, I'm not putting out the fucking. I'll be like, yo, listen, I'm not gonna Tim Story this fucking shit up. Like, yo, I ain't trying to do Fantastic Four here, baby. Like, nah. Look, y'all setting me up to fail. You got the greatest filmmakers, then you hand it to me. I ain't turning in fucking the last stand of this franchise, bitch.
Like, you fucking. I was about to say, like, how do you follow up those four? Brett Ratner? Like, yeah,
exactly. Yeah, y'all might as well just retire that shit. If y'all do get that run of directors, then just you either have to go real art house or just retire the shit.
Like art house or just spin it off into TV.
Yeah, might as well.
Right, because after that, the movies are done. Like, you've you've made the movies.
Yeah.
You've made all the Bond movies. After that,
Yo, listen, give Soderbergh one because he would make a cool one, and I would say my man's was just in my mind. Now he's gone. Oh, Ridley Scott. I'd like to see a Ridley Scott Bond movie because that shit would be British as fuck.
oh, you know what? Ridley is due for a good movie, right?
Yeah.
So,
And it ain't like he's bad with action because that's like the best thing about Gladiator 2.
right.
So you know. Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
Look, niggas British, so.
I mean, look. I don't think being British is necessarily, the thing that makes these movies great, but it helps. Wait, isn't he? He's not British. I thought he was Australian.
No, he's not Australian, or he might be Scottish. Because I get
I know.
Ireland and English accents are different enough where I could pick them apart. Scotland, sometimes they blend together.
I know he's not I remember him not being strictly like British. Let me look it up.
All right. Well, while you do that, let's move into the Oscars, the 2025 Oscars. Pretty dry. I will say, I don't know about you, Jeff, but I like Conan better as a host than Jimmy Kimmel.
I don't know, like, of
I don't
all
like
the
Jimmy
Jimmys,
Kimmel.
like of all the Jimmys, I like Jimmy Kimmel the most. I hate Jimmy Fallon, and I will say this on record. If Jimmy Fallon has one enemy, it's me, and if he has no enemies, I'm dead. But Conan did it right for a thankless job, like the host of the Oscars. He pulled it off. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. I mean, I'm not ranking. We're not going to go out here and rank.
Oh no.
Hosts.
We're not doing that. Yeah, like I'm just glad because like for the past like 6 years, it's been Jimmy Kimmel. I'm just like, it wasn't cool the first time.
And then Rock, we got Chris Rock.
Oh yeah, all right. So Chris Rock was sprinkled in there. I know every once in a while they throw a bone to an actor, but like, yeah, I please don't bring that nigga back, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, like Jimmy, and like I don't mind Jimmy Kimmel. Ricky Gervais is just too mean.
Well, he's Globes only.
Oh, that's right. He's Globes. Yeah. But I like Conan. I've always liked Conan.
I just thought the material that he was given was weak. I was like, yo, bro, you need to hire like some better writers. That's all. And the whole dance number, I was just like, this is literally wasting time, bro. Like, it's not funny. It wasn't amusing.
Well, I think since we're in the transitional period, because he is such a new host, and they it is a very precarious time, right?
Yeah.
So they have to.
Disney's about to lose those rights.
Yeah. So like, I get why they're trying to keep it like soft, because they're on shaky ground as it is.
I mean, you're right, Jeff. We are in a transitional period. How you feel about the winners in general?
I mean, not surprised, but I kind of wished I were surprised, right? Like, I mean, I called most of them.
I really wish Guy Pearce got Best Supporting Actor because he managed to make a absolute monster charming. Like, there's parts of that movie I was charmed by Harrison Van Buren.
Right, and like,
no offense to Kieran Culkin.
Right, I love Kieran Culkin. Right, like I love what he did in Succession. I love what he did in a Real Pain. Guy Pearce is going to get another Oscar chance, right? I don't know if Kieran Culkin.
I don't know if Guy Pearce will ever get another chance. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Adrian Brody won again because everybody thought Ray Fiennes already won for Schindler's List, and every person they interview, because they do these anonymous Oscar ballots, 4 people were just like, he won already, and they had to correct them and be like,
Yeah.
No. And then they were laughing like, ha, ha, I'm stupid then. I'm like, you guys, so that's how Adrian Brody won, because they're like, Adrian Brody's never won before. And they're like, he won for the
There's one
pianist.
for the pianist, right? You remember when he went up and he fucking kissed the shit out of Halle Berry? Like, yeah. Man.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, yo, half of you motherfuckers don't even watch movies, because there's then the same 4 people also admitted they didn't watch Dune Part 2 because they didn't like Part 1.
So, like, how?
Yeah, how do they vote? Yeah,
Like, how do
exactly.
you vote? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because then there's some people who are like, yeah, I only watch Wicked, and after Wicked, I didn't watch anything else because I knew it wasn't going to be. I'm just like, yo, we need to, like, maybe we should start letting critics into these awards too. Because
Right?
damn, bro,
Like, because
the people who
I don't.
the people who work on shit have absolutely no taste at all.
I don't even know how you become an Academy voter, but
You just work. Like,
What?
if you're a gaffer, you can get in. If you're a DP, you can get in. Whatever department you're in. So if you're like a costume designer, you could get in. Just gotta work, baby.
and that's it. Like, you would think they would have to have some sort of pedigree, like
You would
to
think.
pick the best fucking aspects of movies for a given year. You would think you would have to have some sort of base of knowledge.
That's why everybody loves Kirsten Dunst, because she says, she's like, every year I watch every movie because I'm an Academy member and I have to vote. Like,
Right.
it's
Like,
my
that's
duty. I was just like, damn, Kirsten
Kirsten Dunst.
yeah, Kirsten Dunst is a better fucking voter than most people. And who would have thought it'd be her out of everybody?
Right? Oh, yeah.
I have
That's
much
just
more
funny.
respect for Kristen Dunst, and I understand why she's just like, yeah, I just want to work with Sofia Coppola from here on out. And I'm like, yeah, I get it,
Yeah, yeah.
because she's the only one who's going to give you a real part. You're not going to play like a housewife or a mom.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
that's fucking disappointing.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah.
And now I get why whatever was nominated, and whoever won, right? I get it. Now,
Well, again,
right?
Green Book was all Spielberg.
Well, yeah, well, yeah.
Like, that's disappointing to hear. That nigga went on a campaign for that, personal campaign.
It was fucking is driving Miss Daisy too.
Yeah.
Like
And that, even the first one, when Green Book was coming out, even the first one, people were just like, wow, remember when that shit won Best Picture? That was kind of embarrassing. And then they did it again, and and immediately people were like, oh, we're gonna embarrass ourselves again by giving the same fucking movie another award.
I mean, look, it's every once in a while, the white guilt gets to a max peak, right? Like critical mass, and it's like, let's give it to someone with some niggers in it.
Yo, you know who has
any
terrible
Jews with AIDS, right? Like just
people-
like this.
Sandra Bullock and Kevin Costner have so many bad white guilt movies, bro. So many, and they're all terrible. They've all aged badly. They're all just like, oh, this is for middle American white people. That's why they come in and they're just like, oh, this is real cinema. And you're just like, you uncultured bitch. All right.
I mean, like, what did we say last night with David? I call it just the mom genes of movies.
Yeah.
Right? It's like sometimes you just need to put on a pair of mom jeans and do the shopping. That's yeah. So wow.
I'm not mad at Nora won Best Picture though.
All right. So like full disclosure, I still have not seen Anora because I am hearing not mixed things, right? Like people either really fucking love that movie or they hate it. And everyone
who hate it.
What?
Who are the people who hate it?
Black people, right? Like most of the black like critics I talk to, and most of like just your regular ass black people, they don't like that fucking movie. And so that's been like, honestly, that's been my sticking point. Like that's the thing that's kept me from
though?
like, what? I don't know. I keep on asking, why don't you like it? It's like, I don't know. It's like,
all right,
well,
then, nigga. Like, then, yeah, that explains everything. Right? I'm just like,
right,
all
like,
right, all right,
well,
all right.
can you give me a little something more? I was like, oh no, it just seems like Pretty Women. I was like, oh, okay, sure, but like not that I don't want to watch it, but I've got some reticence. But look, I like Sean Baker. I like most of the stuff he does. I even like Red Rocket up until it got
fucking
real
hate that
pedophiling,
movie.
right?
I just don't fuck with that.
I mean, like he made Simon Rex look like he was an actual actor. So, God bless him for that. And, Tangerine, great for what he did with Tangerine.
I want to know
Florida
about
Project.
Simon Rex's story real quick though, which is how do you go from being an MTV VJ to a porn star to back to being an actor?
I didn't realize he was a porn star.
Yeah.
Oh wow, well, good for him. Because I mean, look, if you look at videos like pictures from Simon Rex in his heyday, like around the time he was doing MTV, like he's an attractive dude, yeah.
But damn, bro, like that's some real fucking bipolar whiplash right there.
Wait, was he a gay porn star?
Oh, that's wild.
Wait, no, I can't be. All right, so go on. I was going to look up some more Simon Rex facts.
All right, that's all you, baby. That's all you. I learned enough.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm disappointed that the Brutalist won Best Production Design. Like that should have been Dune, dog.
100%. Like the production design for the Brutalist, it's good, right? It's not
right. I'm not even gonna say it's terrible because it is good, but also you see the limits in
of
the
that
production.
budget.
Yeah, in the production design.
Right, like Laszlo's actual architecture, like especially that library, that library, that study was hot.
Yes.
Right?
That's
But
the best part of the movie because that's the biggest that movie gets.
Right, but you can't base the production design of the entire movie on that one set piece, right?
I guess the model.
Right.
but like that's mostly like to me that movie's mostly like the directing, the actors, and the cinematography, like not the production design.
Right. They made it look real enough.
Yeah.
Right? But Dune 2, they created worlds. Right? And even if you look at the design elements of Dune 2, right? They created shit that looked new, right? I think that's a hallmark of production design. We have never seen fucking planetary ships that looked like that, right? We have never seen like suits, like fucking exosuits and shit like that looked like that, right? They were able to make the desert look
different,
interesting and different.
And each spot, because you could easily just make that movie look the same. And they specifically went to different dunes in the desert just so the shit wouldn't look the same. And they even marked it like, oh, we shot here already. Can never use this dune again. We got to go to another dune. And they would have literally people sweep the dune so they looked good.
Right. Like for the Brutalist, yeah, a couple of set pieces, but the rest of it is just costuming. Right? Costuming and cars.
Yeah.
That's right. Like everything else.
Even Brady Corbet even said, he's like, yeah, if we turn the camera even like a little left and right, then like you would see the movie. Right. It's just like, well, get it. I get it because they showed some behind the scenes shit and I'm watching it and I'm like, damn, y'all filmed that shit in a public place. I was like, good for you for pulling it off because they shot it at an angle where you wouldn't be able to tell.
Right. So like cinematography, yes. Like all the aspects that the Brutalist could have won for, like production design is not it. That's not it.
It won. So Adrian Brody won Best Actor, and then it won Best Cinematography and Best Production Design. Not mad. Oh, and Best Score. I'm not mad at it winning Best Score, even though I think Conclave should have took that shit.
Right.
But yeah,
like
wild.
even like cinematography, I get, because like you said, the trickery was in the cinematography.
I mean,
right?
that has the best shot of last year anyway, of Laszlo making his way through the ship.
Right.
And then he gets to the deck, him and his friend hug each other, and the camera just whip pans up to the Statue of Liberty. And that shot to me is just literally the movie, the inverted, perverted American dream.
Right. So I get it.
Dun, 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 dun.
I kept on wanting the score to do something, right? Like it felt like it was always building up to do something.
Yes.
And it never did it, right?
Oh, my
It's
bad.
like,
I'm wrong.
It's edging.
I'm wrong. Best Wicked won Best Production Design.
Oh, okay. All right. So we
still, because they showed. I remember them showing behind the scenes clips during the telecast, and I'm just like, yo, listen, y'all really did build sets, but like again, like you see nothing but overhead lights. I was like, that's why it's overlit. Y'all have nothing but like fucking these giant halogens just overlighting this fucking set, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I stand by all of my sentiments on The Brutalist, but
yeah, same.
But like Wicked Best Production Design, I can't be mad at that. I can't.
Are you mad at the score?
What for Brutalist? Yeah. Like because like I said, it was the equivalent of cinematic etching, right? Like that score never really had a payoff.
It started off too epic is the problem too. Like the first thing you hear is dun 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 dun, and then they play it again once you get to the best fucking shot of last year. Laszlo hugs his friend, dun 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 dun, with the Statue of Liberty.
And after that it was like, okay.
Yeah, most of it's kind of subdued and experimental.
Yeah, and like the best thing about the Conclave score, it added to
the tension.
Every aspect of that fucking movie. Conclave did not get enough love.
Oh, hell no. It only won one award, which was Best Adapted Screenplay, which is fucking insane.
Right? Like,
what are we doing? Look, A Complete Unknown, that was nominated for like 10, went home with nothing.
Well, good. Fuck that movie. Like, I would have been mad if it had won anything.
Like, Amelia Perez had the most nominations of the night, and I think they only went home with 2. I'm not sure.
Zoe Saldana, and then what was the other one?
I can't remember.
Yeah,
but I was just like, yeah, look. Y'all realized too little too late this year. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, man. And a lot of people who, do this professionally, like their job is Oscars. Even the Oscars people were just like, yeah, this year felt very subdued, not in a good way. It felt very small. They also said the show was missing a lot of heavy hitters. So like Spielberg wasn't there, Julia Roberts wasn't there, Denzel wasn't there. Like they were just like, there's a lot of legends who just sat this year out. And I was just like, oh yeah.
Well.
Also, did you notice that as the ceremony went on, Brady Corbet looked more and more mad?
Good. Stay fucking mad, man. Like the more and more, because like when we went to that the screening, we talked to him. He seemed like pompous, but he seemed like sort of like a film dude, right?
Well,
like a
dude for you,
right? For like
I had a different experience,
right? You had a different experience, right? He felt like, all right. He honestly he portrays himself as indie, right? And that's what like kind of gravitated me towards him when we were doing the Q&A. It was like, all right, this dude seems like everybody I went to film school with, right? Yes. indie, but like not humble, just like he was on his grind. But the more and more I heard him talk about the fucking movie, the more and more I saw him being interviewed. It was like, oh, this guy is a straight asshole.
It really is, like you said, it's like talking to that white dude in film school who is talented and just, you're just like, all right, bro, your ego needs to be like punctured. And he should not have been that mad. I'm like, bro, like Honora's been winning everything up until this point. I don't know why you're sitting there with a scowl on your face. Like, your movie won 3 awards.
Like, don't be surprised, and B, like, you are at the Academy Awards. You're at the 97th Academy Awards. No one thought you would ever be there besides yourself, right? Like,
right.
Based on his other movies, right? Like the fact that he has got a career, it's like you're lucky. You're lucky to win that seat.
You know, Denis Villeneuve went to the ceremony knowing that he wasn't going to win anything, and ended up winning 2 Oscars. I don't know, man. The fact that he's coming to every ceremony, he's just like, the fact that we're nominated and we're actually winning awards is good enough for me. So, I mean, think about it like that. You've worked on, your movie has won Academy Awards, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you already won. Like, yo, if I made a movie and I won Best Costume Design, my movie won Best Costume Design, I'd be like, bro, I made a movie that won an Oscar.
Right. 100%. Like, and I guess we're talking from this point of view where we're not even in that room, right? We haven't even been given the opportunity to make our films that could possibly be in that room. But
what I'm saying, like one of everybody's favorite filmmakers, that's how he thinks, and I'm just like, oh yeah, you won life. I get why he doesn't give a fuck, because he's just like, bro, he's like, honestly, this shit shouldn't be nominated. He's like, the fact that it's getting nominated and people love it, he's like, listen.
Yeah, like some people realize they've won life, right?
Maybe that's why Nolan's so nonchalant about everything. Even like when he was on the Oppenheimer press tour, I've never seen that dude had that much fun. I was like, oh, that nigga just doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's just
right, because he fucking won life.
And he really
right? Like he's living the dream. But yeah, Brady Corbett, however you pronounce his fucking name, just relax.
Right.
Like just enjoy the show, man.
I'd be real with you. I think if The Brutalist won, cinephiles would definitely be happy, but the general public would remind us every chance they got. Y'all gave The Brutalist Best Picture. Like, nobody, like, if you sat a normal person down to watch that movie, they'd turn to you by the end of it and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, well, because when anyone asks me about The Brutalist, right? Like any, civilian, and it's like, should I go watch it? It's like, sure, but, right? I got to put so many disclaimers on this shit.
Right. Whereas Honora, you could just be like, that's a movie where I'm like, oh, it's art house, but like that, you could sit a normal person down and be like, yeah, and they'll turn to you and be like, yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
Or they didn't like it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna have the same reaction.
Right. Because you got to put so many words. Like, all right, so The Brutalist, you'll like it, but like only up until they get to Italy, and then like after that it goes some another way, and then it is long.
Right. You gotta tell them about the intermission.
Right. And then like really nothing really happens.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Like nothing really happens in the movie. A lot happens, but nothing happens.
And then you gotta be like, it's a meditation on the patron funding the arts, and that's how as an artist we feel making art when we have to deal with rich people.
Right. And also it's about
the immigrant experience.
There's a lot going on, but you're not going to enjoy yourself.
Right.
Right.
Right. Right.
Like I loved the movie, but I don't think I enjoyed the experience of
I
watching
mean,
the movie.
That's the thing.
Right?
It was like, yo, people love the movie. Like, a lot of people love it, and like, I get it. But then there's also a lot of people who are just like, yo, this is what got y'all gassed? Like this? So like, every reaction, I get it. Like, my
Right.
brother fucking hates this movie, and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
I get it 100%.
You love the movie. I get it. And most people, I feel like me, where you're like, it's part masterpiece, part trash fire.
Yeah, like I loved it until I didn't. Right? I loved it until I didn't, and it's like even the parts that I didn't love is like, okay.
And like, yo, like part one, like I feel like part one, man, like has one of the best like sequences where he's reading the letter and you could hear her narrate and it'll cut into the fucking video, the promo video for Pennsylvania Steel, where she'll be like, "Were we going to meet again? Steel. Are we going to say? Oh, I wonder how long it's going to take us. Pennsylvania Steel." I was like, "Damn, that's fucking hard." With that music sound, it was like, I was like, "Damn, we watching like white people's rap right now."
So like I if it had won Best Picture, yes, the regular people would storm the gates.
Oh, bro, and you know I would get so many texts where people would be like, "Should I finally fucking watch this?" And I'd just be like, "Well."
All right, so sit down. So I gotta give you a primer for the movie, right, before you watch it. But also, don't blame me for any of this.
So here's a cool thing I'm gonna spout out real quick. It just came out. The head of Neon said that A24 is not their biggest competitor. Actually, them and A24 actually see eye to eye and work together on a lot of stuff. Just because they say their biggest competitor and they hate them, you could take a guess.
I don't Lionsgate?
Nope. Netflix. And
Really?
A24 and Neon, they're just like, hey, we got to work together and make sure we get these films, because they know they go to all the indie festivals to pick up all these indie movies, because, you know, these are the two studios that are literally trying to keep indie film alive, along with like Focus, even though Focus, they do mid-budget features.
Right.
Yeah, they're saying like Amazon, they just come in and buy these things so that way they don't go to theaters. Like the head of Neon straight up said, like, yeah, they straight up buy these so they don't go to theaters. So that's why they got like Amelia Perez, because they saw how big it was on the festival circuit, and they're just like, oh, well, we could take it. Like, because they make all these absurd offers that, you know, Neon and A24 could never in their lifetime match.
Right. And so it's proof that the streamers are literally actively trying to kill theaters.
Yes.
Right.
And we'll get to that, because we'll get to Hulu, and we're gonna end on Hulu, because yeah. Half of America owes like wants
At
to
least
pull the
credit.
night. They want to half. Me too. Like half of America wants to pull a night watch on you for the watch, and we all pass it, get our own turn for the watch. But yeah, he was just like, yeah, Neon said that they were close to getting the Brutalist, and they said, hey, Brady, we're gonna roll out the stops for you and everything. He's like, okay, like, can you do 70 millimeter? He's like, yeah. The reason why it went to A24 is because Brady wanted the Brutalist out 2024, and they're like, he straight up said, like, I don't know if we could press 70 millimeter prints in time. And he's like, well, A24 is going to do it. So if you're wondering why the run of 70 millimeter prints were so limited and so small, that even the Alamo Drafthouse, which gets a 70 millimeter print of everything, even they didn't get one, which anyway, fuck them anyway. But you get what I'm trying to say. That's why there was only like 4 70 millimeter prints in the nation. It's just because
they were
Brady wanted it by end of year, and that's all A24 could give them.
Okay. All right. That's fair. But
like, and like, yo, I'm with Neon. I'm like, yo, listen, wait a year and we could do this nationwide, baby.
Yeah, but you know, Brady, You want to do 2024 for some reason.
Yeah. Look,
Oh, I mean,
Shout
but I also get it because it took him 10 years to make this fucking movie.
right, but also like you guys take your wins where you could get them, bro.
Like, what's one more year? Right?
Yeah,
You've already waited 10 years.
You're
Might
right.
as well just wait one more.
Right, and like I'm pretty sure Neon would have matched because A24 paid for the IMAX print, and it's not like Neon has not released the movie in IMAX. They had.
Right.
Like they would have even given him the IMAX run. I guarantee you. That's why it was, and I guess that's why the rollout was so fucked up too, because that's why when it went into wide release, it bricked because they waited too long to put it wide.
Right. And they didn't start doing IMAXs until what, 4 weeks after the run started?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Look, the 70 millimeter print is still playing at Lincoln Square. I'm surprised. Apparently, that's the theater they've been making the most money from is Lincoln
okay.
Square. I'll be real with you. The presentation was immaculate. Like that, seeing it in 70 millimeter does make that movie better. But then it just makes me realize I'm like, oh yeah, the first half is like, fuck, just chef's kiss. And like, That's the problem watching that movie in such high fidelity, high quality. You're just like, damn, okay.
Well, if that's the case, I might go, if it's still running next week, I might go see it before Opus.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
They got 11 a.m. showtime. So that's the one you can make.
Yeah, because it's, it's 18 hours long. Shit.
It is worth it just for the opening shot alone, bro.
Yeah, I'd like to see that in 70, actually.
Yeah, now let's get to Hulu, you dusty motherfuckers. This shit was fucking up so bad, I missed the first 30 minutes.
Look, so I like watching the Oscars on TV, like on actual TV, like broadcast.
Oh yeah, I don't have that shit no more.
Right, and like and it is honestly the one time I actually watch live TV is for awards and shit like that. But I kept on seeing all the tweets and everything like that about Hulu just fucking up, just like Netflix fucked up for the fucking Tyson fight.
Yo,
you can't.
How did Paramount Plus do the Globes without a problem? Paramount Plus. Hulu's was like the second streaming service because it was Netflix and then like 5 years later, Hulu.
Right.
How the fuck does this happen?
I mean, no one really fucks with Paramount Plus anyway. But also, it's right. So no one's that their servers are fucking awesome, right? Like,
shit. Oh shit!
Like, because you know how it is when people have to make the Sophie's choice on what streaming service to cut so they can eat that week.
I
right?
mean, I just canceled my Paramount Plus.
Right?
That free month, I was like, y'all gonna give me another free month? They're like, no. I was like, all right, well, later.
Like Paramount Plus is always the top, right? The first choice.
Hell yeah, that's
go.
number one.
Right?
That's number one.
So they got plenty of bandwidth. Right?
Yeah, Paramount Plus is the guy. Like if you get stranded on an island with your work colleagues,
right.
Like he's the guy. Like Paramount Plus is the guy. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna eat this motherfucker first.
Right, like he is. Sorry, Monty. Sorry, Paramounty. You gotta go. So yeah, that I can see why the Golden Globes were pristine, like fucking ultra high fidelity, because everybody had canceled their subscription that month.
Yeah, and then I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, because whoever put the time bracket in to program the shit to broadcast on Hulu, they put it in at 10:30, and this shit always runs over. Like Oscars has never ended on time.
I've never known an Academy Awards ceremony to end before 11:30 at night.
Yes,
never.
And the fact they cut off the broadcast, Jeff, so that means me and almost everybody watching, we missed Best Actress and Best Picture. And everybody's saying it's so ironic that Sean Baker made this speech about how streaming is killing movies and how we got to bring movies back to movie theaters, just as Hulu fucks up the Oscars cast.
That is kismet right there.
Like, I don't understand whose job was that? Like, can I have their job? Like, I would just put it in 11:30, because what else? Who we think people are gonna cut the broadcast off and watch Paradise at 11:30 on a fucking Sunday? No, they're gonna come on, they're gonna go to bed. If the shit cuts off, they're gonna sleep.
And like, here's the thing. It's streaming. The whole entire idea of it is on-demand service. So why is there even a cutoff?
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
I don't know, because I rewatched it, and the whole ceremony is on Hulu now. So I don't understand what the problem was with the broadcast.
Right. So like, you go ahead, keep broadcasting it, because I can come in anytime I want and leave. Right? Like, that's the promise of streaming, right? You are your own network executive. So I don't understand why they're thinking in this linear sort of fucking way to do this program blocking. There should be no such thing as program blocking. It's streaming. Just stream the shit. Right? Just stream it.
The only other thing people were gonna watch on a Sunday is fucking The White Lotus.
Right. Well, also on HBO, HBO Max, which you can watch at any fucking time. You can like at 9:01 every Sunday, it goes up on HBO Max. Right. Like, right. So the broadcast starts at 9:01. You can start fucking streaming the shit.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. We gotta cut down on this streaming shit. I'll be real with you. I think streaming's done. Like, honestly.
Yeah. I cannot, like, I'm sad for all the people that are going to lose money and all the content that we're going to lose, but this shit is crumbling.
I mean, the content's barely there now anyways.
Right.
Like, the best stuff they're airing on their linear networks already, except for maybe a few things here or there.
Right.
For the most part, these originals ain't worth the money.
I mean, like, it's few and far between.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're just throwing shit at the wall. They're just...
Because every once in a while, you'll find an Oasis, and I'm just like, bro, how is this shit on here? And I'm gonna get to it. Right. But, like, so, yeah. The Oscars. I hope next year's better. Yeah, man. I hope next year's better, man. Yeah, ABC's about to lose the rights because Disney wants to sell off the rights for the Oscars. They want to sell them to NBC. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, I'd rather watch it on Peacock.
Yeah, that's fine. Sure, cool.
I watch more on Peacock than I do Hulu now. It don't make no fucking sense.
It used to be that it was, I would always go to for streaming, it was Netflix, Hulu, then all the other services to see what I want to watch.
Yes.
Now,
it's like
honestly,
Tubi, Peacock, Max.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, all right, let me fucking see what's on Hulu and Netflix. The ones I spend the most money on, the most expensive ones, are the ones I end up watching the least.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Saying that out loud makes me think maybe it's time for another Sophie's Choice.
Oh, man. All right, Jeff, what have you watched lately?
What are you watching?
All right, what have I watched? All right, this has been a light week, especially since we did our whole entire Daredevil episode. A lot of my time was spent up trying to binge watch that.
It's a lot of shit right
now. First of all, I'm going to start with a documentary that's on Hulu right now, documentary series called Devil in the Family, the Ruby Frank story, or something like that. Long story short about that, Ruby Frank was a Mormon family influencer who is now serving 30 years for federal child abuse.
What?
Right. And so she was a family vlogger, YouTuber, or whatever like that. They're always the worst people, right? That's the reason. It took me a while to warm up to a Simple Favor and Anna Kendrick's character, because I just hate mommy vloggers. They just seem so fake to me. But anyway, Ruby Frank, she was mad successful as a mommy blogger, and to see the behind the scenes video and shit like that, she was a really demanding, mean mother whose whole entire life revolved around this blogging shit, right? And eventually she falls in with this therapist, quote unquote, who forces her to like kick out her own children, convinces them that one of them is possessed, divorces her husband. And the documentary starts with ring footage of one of her kids escaping her house and then going to a neighbor's house to ask for water and to call the cops, right? So this kid, they blur out his face because he's so young. He goes up to a neighbor's house, right? And you can see that he's rail thin. He rings the doorbell. Old crotchety white man comes out. Like, what can I do for you? Like, and the kid's so nervous. He goes, yeah, I just got two things to ask you. Maybe one. Can I have a glass of water? And can you call the police? Right? And that's how they start the documentary. It is wild, right? I mean, Mormonism in general.
Yeah, because I just found out about soaking, and I was just like,
at
that point, just have sex. Makes no
right?
sense.
Like,
it makes no sense. And then shaking.
If you don't know
have you heard of shaking?
What's shaking?
So while they soak, they'll have somebody else to shake the bed to mimic the movements.
All right, so for those of you, for the uninitiated, soaking is the Mormon practice of sticking, of insertion, right? But no movement, right?
And I'm like, at that point, that's still sex. So the whole thing doesn't make sense to me.
Right? Like,
you're still not a virgin.
Like, the moral fucking mental gymnastics you have to go through.
Dog, I watched a couple of TikToks about soaking, and a lot of Mormon girls are like, yeah, I let them soak after 2 or 3 dates. I was just like, damn.
So you're fucking, right? Like, that's the Mormon equivalent of just the tip. There's no such thing as just the tip.
I'm like, yo,
right?
y'all understand. Y'all aren't virgins when you do that.
Right? Like, someone has inserted something into you, right? His penis is in your vagina. You're not a virgin. Right? Like, you are fucked. You are literally, you are in the middle of fucking. Right?
See,
like,
see, this is how I know heretics bullshit, because I'm like, yo, you had 2 young Mormon girls, and y'all made a whole movie about these 2 Mormon girls. They ain't not once mentioned soaking, but they were talking about porn. I'm like, yeah,
because it's gross. Because soaking just seems fucking just.
No, it's weird. It's weird. Like, let's not even be real. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, when I say gross, it's like, it's just dumb.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Right. So they don't mention soaking in this, but the Mormon religion, you need better PR, right? You need.
The only church who has anything on you guys is the Catholic Church, for obvious reasons.
right, and and Scientology,
Oh
they're
yeah,
all
yeah,
horrible,
yeah.
right? But like, I've never watched a documentary where Mormonism went well,
Or
right?
Scientology.
Or Scientology, like, there's never been a Netflix or HBO or fucking Hulu series where this shit turned up sunshine and roses. It's always the most fucked up thing you could think of. And that's the Ruby Frankie story. If you want to hate mommy bloggers, Mormons, and just like white women in general, like this is the documentary for you. Fucking it's on Hulu. It's interesting watch, but you despise this woman.
Yo, the world's
Right?
so fucked, bro. We're so fucked. Like, we're just so fucked.
Oh,
We're just
man.
rationalizing
So, yeah.
every dumb thing in the universe.
It's like you stuck your penis in this person. You are fucking. You have been fucked.
Oh my god.
You have fucked.
Oh Jesus Christ, bro. That's just the same thing with anal sex. They're like, well, I'm still a virgin because I fucked her in the ass, and I'm just like,
It's like
no,
it's like you're like,
no.
anal is like fucking with a modifier. It's like a +3, right? You know how hard it is to get to anal, right?
I'm like, yo, white people, y'all do a lot, huh? Just
Right? Like
a
why?
lot.
Why like
It's
like
so
why?
much. For
Like, oh fuck. Yeah, so moving on from fucking soaking the musical, I I I had forgotten how much I truly enjoy Bollywood cinema.
Oh, you finally watched
Right?
Doom?
No, I didn't watch Doom. I watched Dabangg 3.
The fuck?
It's on Netflix. It is fucking batshit crazy. It's about a super cop.
Damn. Okay.
Right?
It's like all
It
these
is-
shits.
It's like 2.5 hours of this nigga just kicking dudes in the chest, laughing all the way, and singing. So
You ever see RRR?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. So, but like now, after watching Dabangg 3, I've got to watch the other two. Right? That's how good this shit is. All right. So, the first scene of this is there's a wedding, and there's a bunch of robbers that come in, rob the wedding. For some reason, the robbers decide to escape through the basement, which always works. Right? So they're in the basement. They're trying to figure out a way to get out. Out of nowhere, a drill busts through the wall, and our hero, Chibati, jumps out of the hole that he has just drilled with this drilling machine and just starts whipping ass. Right? Like,
yeah, that sounds basically on point. They don't give a
right?
fuck over there.
With reckless abandon.
Oh yeah.
The shit is so wild. Right? While he's kicking niggas' asses, he throws his sunglasses up in the air. Right? And they do like this immaculate fucking CGI tracking shot of the glasses folding in midair, coming down, and then sticking in the back of his shirt. Right? So now you know he's really ready to kick ass. Right? And that is the tamest this movie gets, is that scene. The rest of it is like there's a fucking 45-minute interlude in the middle where we see how him and his arch nemesis got together, like became enemies, and it's fucking wild. His enemy is like the bad guy, the nemesis, throws his wife off a fucking cliff.
Jesus
Right?
Christ.
On some Looney Tunes
Jesus
shit.
Christ. All right.
At one point, these two go ahead, like play chicken with cars, right? They crash into each other. They both fly through the windshields and then start fucking kicking each other's ass midair as they're flying out the window. Dabangg 3 is fucking amazing. So if you have Netflix and you're in for, you want a wild fucking time, fucking yeah. Jesus Christ. Moving on from that, on Tubi, I decided to watch World War Z again.
Damn, all right.
So here's the thing. World War Z is not a bad movie. Right?
It's boring.
It's just what?
It's boring.
It's got some boring parts, but like for the most part, I thoroughly enjoy it. The reason I hate this movie, even though I like it, is simply the name. World War Z is perhaps one of my favorite books ever. Right? I read it at least once a year, and that's not hyperbole. I read World War Z at least once a year because it is not only the best zombie apocalypse book, but it breaks down viral contagion to a scientific level, right? But makes it personal.
Just like the movie Contagion.
Just like the movie Contagion, right? If everything had planned out the way it was supposed to, fucking Fincher was supposed to direct.
Yeah, World War Z too.
World War Z 2, which would have been fucking amazing if it was more like the book. The book, if they actually made it into a movie or a series of movies or a TV series, would blow The Walking Dead and all this other shit out of the water, right? I highly suggest, if you have not read World War Z, read that book. That being said, World War Z, the movie, has almost absolutely nothing to do with the book. And that's what made me hate it so much, right? Because I could see, where they were just like, all right, we have this IP, let's stick this name on there, and then let's make this zombie movie.
Yeah.
But in of itself, if it was called just fucking Brad Pitt versus the zombie apocalypse, I would have fucked with this movie a whole lot harder in the theaters.
I mean, I've only seen the movie once, and it's always been tainted because I was bored, maybe, and I had too high expectations. And also, I went to a press screening. That shit was in 3D, and that shit was goddamn garbage in 3D.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Like, there's nothing in there that says that shit should be 3D. There's nothing.
The only part I remember that was cool in 3D is when he looks through the peephole at the beginning.
Okay, sure.
That's it. That's one shot.
Right. But the movie, I've seen much worse zombie apocalypse movies. I like the main idea that it zombies, as it's the virus, is sort of like a unifying entity, right? Like it's actually treated like a viral contagion. And how they cure it or whatever, like they fight against it, blah, 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 is interesting to me. It's not a bad movie. It's just tainted by the name of a far superior product. But if you're looking for something to watch, fucking Tubi's free. It's got some excellent set pieces. It's got some scares. It's got some tension. And it's got Brad Pitt. You really can't go wrong for free on Tubi.
Oh, hell no. Yo, listen, I ain't gonna lie. Tubi has a lot of heat, bro. Like,
yeah,
as much garbage is on Tubi, they also have much more heat and much more good movies than a lot of these other streamers.
And honestly, the algorithm for Tubi is one of the best.
Yeah.
Right? Because it gets me.
Yo,
it really does.
We'll get into it, because I watched something on Tubi, too.
Moving on from that, also on Tubi, I decided to watch World of the Worlds again.
Oh, the Spielberg joint?
The Spielberg joint, right? Or as I like to call it, a weekend dad's nightmare.
Oh, I got to rewatch the movie because I haven't seen it since theaters. And I bought it on 4K. and I just never rewatched it just because I hate those fucking kids so much. And everybody keeps saying, like, rewatch it, Brandon, because, like, it's Spielberg at his best. But I'm like, yeah, I know, but, like, and they're like, it's one of the best 4Ks you can get between the picture and the sound. I'm like, okay, all right. I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, I mean, give it a try. I wouldn't say it was Spielberg at his best, but it is. But
there is a couple
Spielberg.
I remember a couple of sequences seeing it in theaters where I was just like, nah, bro. Like the highway when they're like racing, and that shit is exploding behind them, or when they actually are on the highway and the camera keeps coming in and out,
coming in and out,
fucking car.
Right,
that is amazing.
Right, so like it's not at his best, but like it has some real innovative, only Spielberg type shit in it. Right. That being said, it is tainted by stupidity.
Yeah, that script fucking sucks.
The script is fucking horrible. The kids are the worst. The boy more so than Dakota Fanning.
Yes.
Dakota Fanning was one of the best child actors.
Still a good actress.
Right, she's still a good actress, but like as a child actor, she is probably one of the best to ever do it. Right? Because it didn't seem like she was acting. The like she was putting her foot in the role. It's just the kid was annoying.
Yes.
Right? But not so much as the son.
He was
right?
Who was just fucking bro.
Asshole throughout the whole entire thing, right? Like, yeah, we know you hate your dad. We get it. But also, alien invasion. Pick your fucking battles. And like the kid running off like, I want to join the army. I want to help these guys. Like when he's running over the hill, I want to see the battle. I was like, motherfucker, stop.
Yeah. That's only in movies, dog. Because in real life, everybody else would be like, "Nah, fuck this." Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But like,
should have died.
He should have died multiple times.
Should have died because right after he runs over the hill, you see the fucking flame ball. I'll call it the Twister flame ball.
Yeah. So it's stupid shit like that. It's the fact that these. Like when they're the pier scene, right? When they're
on the ferry. The ferry is hard.
The ferry is hard, but here's my thing: you motherfuckers had time to make signs. That pissed me off. Like I don't know why that's hated me. Why that heats me up so much, right? So you're in the middle of the an alien invasion, and you had time to make signs to hold up looking for missing friends and family.
Well. Let me ask you this, Jeff, because Spielberg, he hasn't had a hit in a minute. Like, he's made good movies, because I like West Side Story a lot. But, like, even his movies of late have been very hit or miss. And putting that, I will say, nicely. Because box office-wise, they've been flops. So, next year, when the disc drops, like, let's say it's a masterpiece. Like, we walk out, we're like, yo, that was great. Big budget Spielberg's back, but it doesn't make money. Do you think that's it for him?
No, it's never going to be it for Spielberg.
I think if the movie's not good and it doesn't make money, I think that's it, bro.
But like, here's the thing: Spielberg, he is the ever-present granddaddy of Hollywood, right? He's got his fingers in so many things, right? So he may not direct for a while, but his influence will
as a producer.
His influence will always be
and I'm not saying I want the dish to be bad. I'm just talking about, like, I'm looking at his past few movies and how they've done and performed, you know?
Right. Personally, I don't ever want it to be it for Spielberg because even the worst Spielberg film is better than most people's best films, right?
I mean, I don't know, because there's certain Spielberg films I'll never watch again, like 1941. Have you ever seen that?
The comedy?
Yeah.
I kind of liked that one, but that was like old Spielberg, right? That was like he was still young. What was it? Was it like his fifth movie?
That War Horse.
You know what? I've never seen War Horse.
People love it, but it puts me to sleep. The Post. People love
I never
the Fablemans, and I never need to see the fucking Fablemans again.
The Fablemans was fine. We did a review of that. Right?
Yeah.
If you're listening, go back and listen to the Fablemans review. I don't think he was the person to tell his own story for the Fablemans,
Even though it was fictional.
right? It was autobiographical, right? Like,
Enough.
Right. Yeah. But I don't think he was the person to tell his own story. I think he was just too close to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But the Fablemans was fine. I've only seen it once.
And I will never watch it again.
No desire to watch it again. But War of the Worlds, the special effects, some of them do not age well.
I mean, that's a lot of this shit now. Like, where we go back from movies from the early 2000s. Sadly, though, as much as they don't hold up, the intent still better now than today.
Right, 100%.
Which is fucking pathetic, honestly. Like the Mummy in the first Mummy still looks a lot better than
this. Man.
A lot.
The Mummy in the Tom Cruise one, right? Yeah. So honestly, if Spielberg ever decided to do the James Cameron thing and go back and remaster some of his older movies, I think if they worked on this, if they updated this, they worked on the CGI and stuff like this, I would purchase that, because as all my problems with War of the Worlds, it is still Spielberg doing an alien invasion film.
Fuck, man, I might do a Spielberg double feature now, because now I guess I'll finally pop on the 4K for this and then break out my 4K Indiana Jones set, man.
Yeah. Like, like I said, I have major problems. Like, I didn't even get into it. Like, most of them, problems with it. A lot of it's the script, and a lot of it's just people do not act like this. Right?
Yes.
But beyond that,
Tom Cruise was like what? He was in his early 30s. Or no, early 40s.
40s.
Right,
early
excuse
40s.
me, that's what I meant to say. Early 40s, and he's acting like he's in his early 20s. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Like, I get the dude's frustrated, but I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, man, like, not up here.
And that's the script. It's 100% the script that is the problem here. But when this movie hits, it fucking hits, right? That scene of that train on fire still haunts me. And it's just a scene. It's just a cutaway, right? It is 30 seconds of this film, and it's still like that image haunts me. So if you have Tubi and you have not seen War of the Worlds by fucking Steven Spielberg, you owe it just to be a completist. But when it hits, it is fucking Spielberg.
Oh, man, I really hope the dish is good, bro.
I mean, like, I always hope Spielberg. He's fucking Spielberg is the reason I love film, right? Like, the first film I ever watched was E.T., right? And so even though I can criticize Spielberg, he is still fucking cinema daddy.
Hey, that's the first movie you saw in the theater?
Yeah, I was 2 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the first movie I remember seeing in theaters was Aladdin.
Well, see, there you go. But like, my first film is a Spielberg film, and like, if I die, I hope my last film I watch is a Spielberg film.
I hope my last movie is like something hot shot in IMAX.
Yeah, I mean, like, and honestly, Spielberg really hasn't investigated, like,
I don't think he's interested.
What he can do with IMAX.
I don't think he's interested, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but like, can you imagine a Spielberg IMAX film?
I just don't think he's going to do it.
I don't think he's going to do it, but can you, like, peak Spielberg in IMAX? Forget about it.
Look, there's only look. I'll get to it, but like, I kind of just wish I'll see what Ryan Coogler's going to do.
Right.
Because Sinners, I'll get to it. You know, I'll just get to it. Go ahead, keep going.
And moving on from that, like, Paradise, the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, so
we could talk about that
the
together.
season is done, but the thing I like about it is the problems of the season have been wrapped up, but they also set up new problems for the next season. Thank God.
Right.
So it feels complete, but also, all right.
Open.
Yeah. So we're heading to the next season.
Right. I mean, we didn't get a chance to talk about episode 7. Episode 7.
Oh,
the
I did.
day. Did you talk about the day?
Yeah, and that last week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fucking masterful.
Yeah. That's one of the best episodes of TV I've ever seen. I'm like, yo, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, yo, every time you think Hulu is like, you're like, all right, I'm done with this shit. They put out some new shit. Because I know they put out a new show I want to watch tonight after I finish Dr. Odyssey. Because Dr. Odyssey.
Deli Boys?
Yeah. Because Dr. Odyssey, I'm finally at this 2-part shark attack episode.
You were talking about that shit last night. I was like, I might have to start checking out Dr. Odyssey. But I was actually going to try to watch Deli Boys before we hopped on.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Yeah, but that shit looks good as hell.
From Dula, from Bong Appetit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Dula. He produced it. I was like, oh, good for you, man. You left Vice to do better shit. Because Vice just fucks over everybody. Even though I would sign to Vice in a heartbeat just so we could cash out real quick.
I mean, is Vice even still a thing?
They just started back up after going bankrupt.
Okay. All right. Because I knew they went bankrupt like, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I didn't know if they...
Yeah, they came back just this past couple of months.
Yo, Vice, if you're listening, give us a show.
Yeah. And then we'll pull a Deezus and
Don't tell them.
HBO's like, hey, you guys want a nightly show? Be like, yeah.
I would look. I would in a heartbeat. And the last episode of Paradise, I everything you're saying is correct. Did not like who the killer was.
Oh, yo, I love that shit. Just because that makes the beginning it ties the whole episode perfectly. Because I was just like, damn. Because you watch the first 15 minutes of the episode, you're like, damn. This is some of the saddest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
And I'm like, if this is this sad, then I will never watch This Is Us, because the dude who created This Is Us created this show, and I just found that out after the show ended.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just like, oh, okay.
I mean, I hear This Is Us is amazing.
Yeah, I'm not being forced to cry week after week.
But yeah. And I get what they were doing, and it makes sense. Right? It makes it nothing in this show doesn't make sense. I was disappointed that that's who it was.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I can't wait for season 2. I cannot wait. That's it for me. That's all I can remember. What have you been watching lately?
I'm gonna start with Law and Order. This episode, Jalen, his army buddy, he gets his army body off. He has him deployed. He's like, yo, go deploy. Because this episode, a very well-known actor dies. You come to find out this nigga was addicted to ketamine. They go after the ketamine dealer. The dealer was a lawyer. And then since the lawyer got off and killed himself, I was like, damn, he got off and he still killed himself. They go after the second highest person on the totem pole, and they're going to implicate Jalen's boy, and Jalen perverted the law to get his boy off. He's like, yo, go deploy. And he's like, Nolan was pissed too. Nolan was like, I could hold you in contempt of court. And he's just like, go ahead. He's like, it's one drug dealer goes to jail for a few months versus us putting an innocent black man who was just addicted to medicine because he couldn't get the help he could. He served his country, Nolan. I was like, damn. Everybody looking at Jalen all pissed off too. I'm like, yo, look, nigga. Yo, listen. Sometimes law ain't order, bro. It's just that simple.
So shout out to, I mean, I haven't watched this episode, but a friend and client of mine, Laura Shoup, was in this Law and Order episode. So shout out to her.
Last week's episode?
Yeah, last week's episode.
Yeah, because it's another thing I gotta watch tonight is the new Law and Order, because that shit just aired last night. Getting to this SNL Shane Gillis episode. Don't ask me about Tate McRae because when she was performing both times, I went to go use the bathroom.
Fair enough.
It's fine.
I honestly, I don't want to like Shane Gillis, but I do.
The jokes were there, they just weren't hitting. Like,
Yeah.
they weren't that funny.
Like, well, the morning show.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. But,
and Weekend Dad episode, like the Daddy's House, that was good.
but like, even his opening monologue, I'm like, damn, bro, like, this is like, I appreciate the intent behind every joke,
Right.
but it's just the execution of the jokes were terrible.
Right. He is a nervous performer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it, but his shit is funny. I like Shane Gillis. I like Tires. I watched Tires more than I care to admit. But yeah, like I can see what you're saying. Like that monologue, it was funny, but it could have been hilarious. But most of it was his execution because he's just like up there, like mugging for the crowd, like
Yeah, it is what it is. What was it? This week's episode is Lady Gaga. I hope it's much better.
Right. I mean, it's double duty. Get Gaga.
Moving on, Harley Quinn season 5. They finally figured out Brainiac's been behind it all, and come to find out, Brainiac ain't the true villain of the fucking season because like even Brainiac has limits.
Okay.
So, listen, I still haven't seen this week's episode, so like I love this show. I hope it gets a 6th season. I don't know. You know how Zaslav is. So.
I'm surprised HBO is still a thing. Honestly, under Zaslav.
And the last 2 things I'm going to talk about on HBO Max. Well, actually, the last 3 things. Excuse me. On HBO Max, Common Side Effects, a new Adult Swim show. This show is insane. I really fucking dig it though so far.
I wanted to dive into it, and I was wondering, like, no one I know has seen it yet, so I want to hear what you have to say.
I really hope my man gets out of prison. That's what I gotta say. It's about this dude. I can't remember the main character's name, but he finds some miracle drug in the jungle, and now everybody wants it. Like criminals, the FBI, pharmaceutical companies, because they all want to exploit it for their own needs. Like it will, it can bring people back to life. It can heal any illness. These mushrooms. The plane crash. His plane was shot out of the sky because people knew what he had, and right before he died, he took 3 of them, ate them, and stuffed a few in his pocket, and the plane crashed. And as soon as the plane crashed, he came back from the dead.
A word? Oh, okay.
And they do him. This girl, his childhood friend, who he loves, she works at a pharmaceutical company, and she's there as a double agent because she's like, "Yo, look, I this could make me uber rich," but she's also conflicted because now she's been in a shitty relationship with her fucking deadbeat boyfriend, and she's kind of fallen in love with him, and they tripped together, and it brought them closer together because they decided to eat the mushrooms because they're like, well, what if you take these and you're not sick? And he's like, it's a good question. They took them and went on the most surreal psychedelic trip you possibly could, and that brought them closer together.
Okay. This is Mike Judd, right?
I can't remember who created it, but I fuck with it.
All right.
I'll see. I still gotta wait for Monday for the next episode. I was like, God damn it, man! Like I'm trying to. He has a lawyer. He had even the criminals, the pharmaceutical people. He's like, yo, just tell us where they are. He's like, if I tell you where they are, can you get me out of jail? They're like, yo, listen, whoever put you in here wants you in here. So like, even that's beyond our grasp. Like everybody keeps telling them that. Like even the lawyer's like, well, whoever put you in here, they want you in here. Like I can't get you out, bud.
Sounds real. Sounds real.
And because he's such a good chemist and created it and helped out another fellow prisoner, now the dude who runs the prison's like, you work for me. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, you work for me, no questions asked. And the fucking CEOs in there, they're like, yeah, bro, we can't help you here either. Like, we work for him too.
All right.
The White Lotus. So I lied. I'm watching this week to week just because, like, I'm greedy. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait. This season starts off with a fucking shooting. Because every season starts off with a death. And this one starts off with a shooting with Natasha Rothwell's son. And he's trying to find her.
Right.
So Natasha Rothwell is there because she's trying to learn from the massage parlor in the Thailand White Lotus, and she's going to bring it back to the one in Hawaii. And then you have this whole waspy family there. The daughter's there because she wanted to do a paper on this Buddhist monk, and her family decided to tag along and make it into a family trip. And you could see how it's pissing everybody off. She's there to do academic shit. They're there to vacation. The brother, there's two brothers. One's very shy, one's older. The older one played by Patrick Schwarzenegger. The older brother, real rapey. Real rapey. I was just like, he makes too many inappropriate jokes, and his mom just sits there and laughs at it. I'm like, bro, why would you say that around your mom?
So I watched the first episode. I haven't caught the subsequent episodes, but it seemed almost incestuous with the brothers, right? It seemed like the older brother's grooming the younger brother.
Yeah, and he's trying to fuck every girl at that resort, and every time he goes to talk to them, they're just like, yo, they immediately are like, yo, you're a douchebag, go fuck away. Shout out to Walton Goggins. Episode 3 gets to say have to suck on that nipple. I was like, oh, and it's a prolonged suck too. I was like, damn, how many takes did they do? I'd be like, yo, Mike, can we do one more for safety? One more for safety. I don't think we got it. Hold on, one last take. One last take. Yeah. So, man, my man's is just spiraling. Walton Goggins is spiraling. He's clearly in a lot of pain. What the pain is, I don't really, we haven't found out yet. But man, like, why would he date her? Because he just seems annoyed with this girl. And I'm like, if you're that annoyed with her, stop having sex with her.
Yeah, I mean, look, they seemed like a mismatched couple that first episode, and I can only imagine it getting worse over the last 2 episodes.
Oh yeah, and the girlfriend's trip between Michelle Monaghan, Carrie Coon, and Leslie Bibb. Oh man, real messy.
I could tell from that first episode, like, one of these bitches is gonna crack.
They all are. All 3 of them are. Already, I'm just like, you guys should not have went on vacation together. Look, one thing I've learned from this, watching these shows, I've changed my mind on going to a resort. I will go to a resort. So if I ever get enough money, I will spend a week at the Four Seasons Hawaii.
Right.
That's where I'm going. Four Seasons Hawaii. I will not go to a resort in Thailand. I will not go to a resort in Japan. You will not see me in an overseas resort. Why? Because that's the first place people come to rob people. Like, if I'm going to go overseas and travel, I'm going to stay at the regular hotels where they're like, oh yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Like this nigga is staying at the Best Western Tokyo. He ain't got no money.
Yeah, man. Like, or like the Holiday Inn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Hilton, just a normal hotel.
Right.
You know, it's nice, but it ain't like
too nice.
$1,000 a night nice. Because I Googled it. I was like, yo, let me see how much. A G a night? I was like, that's not bad for a resort like that.
Life goals.
I'm trying to crash out. Is fucking waking up with sunburn, going back to my room, sleeping for another 4 hours, waking up, going to the bar, eating the buffet, and laying back out on the beach.
I love that for you. I support all of your wishes and dreams with that.
May read a book in between and be like, oh yeah, I can get some reading done. It's nice and relaxing. See if I can hit on somebody and win. And if I don't win, it's okay because I'm still staying in a fucking $1,000 a night room.
Yeah, it's look, winning life. That's should be the goal for 2025. Just know when you're winning life.
Open the door, see it's just the ocean view. Yeah, nigga. So that's the White Lotus season 3. Last thing I'm gonna talk about is Dr. Odyssey on fucking Hulu, because it airs on ABC. And as most of you know, I don't really fuck with network TV unless it's CSI. And this, I kept hearing so many good things. I was like, guys, it comes on ABC. How good is it? Like, relax. And they're like, no, it's real entertaining. And it is. It's just something you could just put on and enjoy. Like, the characters are well written. The hijinks they get into every week are gross but entertaining. Like, don't get it wrong. This is a doctor show, so lots of puke, lots of guts. Bitch's nose gnarly. It is gnarly. Her nose falls off during plastic surgery week. Whoa. Like every episode is a theme. So I started it, haven't finished it. Started the gay cruise week. John Stamos is in it, and he's fucking Don Johnson, because Don Johnson's the captain of the Odyssey. Don Johnson, his brother's played by John Stamos in this episode, and that nigga is in a throuple, and he has to deal with his brother being gay and being in a throuple. Like, he got over his brother being gay, but now he's just like, it bothers him that he's in a throuple. Yeah, nigga, I like listen, it's messy, baby. I like my stuff being messy. Like, singles week, that was a disgusting episode, because my man was going around giving the clap, because he was just, he was out here. Like, that one dude was giving the whole ship the clap. I was just like, if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're a trans, if you were in drag, he didn't give a fuck. He's just like, if it's tight, it's all right. And even the doctor, Joshua Jackson, he's like, please do me a favor and fucking use condoms. He's like, I'm begging you, please. We have them here. And he's just like, no, why would I use condoms? And he's just like, fuck, man. Like, you just see the look on his face, like, fuck, because he knows he's gonna have to treat all those people on that boat because of him.
Look, and I'm stealing this joke from another podcast, but it sounds like he's out there being clapped in America. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, but Joshua Jackson, Philippa Sue, and Sean Teal, they all have great chemistry, because Dr. Odyssey is our main character. His real name is Al or Owen, can't really remember, played by Joshua Jackson. He comes aboard because he wants to start a new chapter in his life. He realized he was just an all work, no play doctor, and now he wants to have the work-life balance of play and still being a doctor. He's like, it doesn't matter where I am, I'm still saving lives either way. So he's just like, it is what it is. At least I get to have a life. And they all three of them have chemistry, and that's what makes it hard. And I can't wait to keep watching this episode, because the last episode ended and they all finally gave into the love triangle and they had a 3-way.
Oh wow.
I was like, they played the way the episode ends. I was like, they're pulling the Eiffel Tower.
So it's surprising that something this adult is on ABC.
You know why? You know who one of the creators is?
Ryan Murphy.
Yeah,
like you didn't have to say anything. It was like, it's Ryan Murphy.
I think if it's a hit show, it's more or less from this nigga. But I mean, it's like all of his shows, real campy, because he's gay and he camps it up. But in a good, for here it works because it's just a fun show.
I mean, good. I mean, like, I like it when Ryan Murphy is actually having fun. Right?
I mean, I'm gonna be real. Every episode so far has a huge fucking guest star. Like the first episode, Rachel Dratz. One episode's Gina Gershon. Another episode, it's Shania Twain. This episode that I just started is John Stamos. Laura Harrier joined the show like 4 episodes in, and now she's a cast member. I'm like, damn, all right. I was like, yo, they got some motherfuckers on here.
That's that Ryan Murphy money, Ryan. Like, even when Ryan Murphy is a failure, he's a success, right?
Yo, because I'm saying this show is a hit, bro. And I see why. I see why everybody's like, oh, yeah, I watched Dr. Odyssey. And, like, you'll see. This show is over. I was like, bro, we're not even halfway through its first season, and it is a runaway hit.
Yeah, so I'll check it out.
And the only reason I started watching it is just because everybody started saying how good it was, and then they're like, get ready for the 2-part shark attack episode. I was like, oh, shit, all right.
So they're all right. I love a Shark Week.
Oh yeah, they had the Halloween episode was wild too. Bitch got stuck in a haunted cave
on a ship.
No, because they go places. It's like a cruise. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Like you disembark and you spend a day or two.
All right, so it's not all just on the boat. Like
right.
Right,
some of it, like 90%'s on the boat, 10%'s like somewhere else.
Gotcha. Copy that.
Yeah. But damn, it's a nice ass boat though. I was just like, yo, like you know how you have those moving sidewalks in the airport?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
When you get on the boat, you have to hop on one of those to get to the main part of the boat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a ship person, but
that's fucking expensive, man. That's fancy as shit.
I mean, like, look, they're floating cities. Like these fucking cruise ships are floating fucking cities.
Yeah, but look, Dr. Odyssey, this is something for me to watch when I'm just like, damn, I don't want to think. I don't want to watch something too heavy. I don't want to watch an art film. You know what I'm saying?
Like there is room in everybody's life for just fucking entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a show where you could pick up your phone and check a text message, put it down, and you'll still be okay. Like you don't have to rewind because sometimes you do need to like
rewind,
deal with work shit,
yeah,
life and work shit. But like, yeah, this is one where I was like, oh shit, my boss is texting me, and I send my text, and I'm still there.
Right. All right, Dr. Odyssey, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. Moving on into movies, I want to start with some shit I watched on. Let's start with some shit I watched on Tubi, which is Murder. Since it was the last day of Black History Month, where we're picking up now. Wait, no, excuse me. Let me go back a little further. Piece by Piece on Peacock. The Pharrell Williams Lego movie.
Yeah, okay.
It's a Talking Heads documentary, but with Legos. Like, I thought it was okay. Like, it was entertaining, but it was okay because, like, we all know Pharrell's known to be a fucking huge asshole. And this movie just paints him out to be, like, a very cool weirdo.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, one person's weirdo is another person's asshole, right?
Like, literally everybody has said this dude's an asshole. Like, I remember Pharrell even told the story himself about Madonna, where he was mean to Madonna and she started crying. And then he's just like, you know, why aren't you just working the way we all work? Like, why can't you just do this? And she's like, you can't talk to me like this. And he goes, oh, Madonna has a heart. And she started crying even harder. And I was just like, Jesus Christ.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, like, you can just look at some people and tell they're fucking assholes. And, like, he's got an asshole face.
Yeah.
I mean, but I love his work with the Neptunes, though. I love him as a producer.
Yeah, bro. Him and Chad haven't spoken in a minute.
Yeah, well, you know, I get it. Yeah.
So, moving on, Dirty Pretty Things. This is a movie that came out in 2002, stars Audrey Tautou and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Not for me. You may like it, Jeff, but not for me.
Like, what's it about?
They're both immigrants, and they work at this hotel, and they find out there is a fucking organ transplant operation being run illegally. Like, they sell organs. The hotel manager.
I mean, is it like it sounds like an interesting premise, but also if it's not executed well, it could be like a flaming piece of shit.
I mean, it's all right. It was written by Stephen Knight.
Okay, I mean, I like Stephen Knight.
That's why I said you'll probably like it. Like, I saw like this is pretty split down the middle with people who love it and people who are like me, where they're like, yeah, sure.
All right. I'll check it out.
Rewatched Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban just because I had a conversation with somebody recently about, like, it's wild that Chris Columbus made 2 movies that were so dedicated and so slavish to the book, where we're just like, it misses the magic of the books. And then Alfonso Cauron comes back in the 3rd one and just blows it up visually, like just completely redoes the visual language of this movie. Like, this would never happen today. Like, this is one of the most artful blockbusters made in like the past 20 years. Like, it's wild that he was allowed to do this shit.
Yeah, I haven't seen Prisoner of Azkaban in a minute, so
yeah, it fucking rules. I forgot how good the night bus sequence is with the fucking shrunken head.
I can't remember that shit. All right,
yeah, and the old man who would drive it, and he would always fall asleep. He'd be like, "Hey, Aaron, wake up! Time to go." And then when they had to go between 2 buses, they stretch out, and when he stretches out, the shrunken head goes, "Hey guys, why the long faces?" He has that crackle, that evil ass crackle. I was like, this is the only time where I'm like, yo, this Jamaican accent, I'll let it slide because the shrunken head's funny. Because the shrunken head speaking Jamaican, I was like, oh, man, that's fucking a little racist. But it's funny. Like, that shit cracked me up. Hey, guys, why the long faces?
The way your eyes light up when you say that line.
Because that shit's hilarious. The night bus. Anyways, moving on. Since it was the last day of Black History Month, I decided to watch Murder at 1600. And I miss when studios would make these type of thrillers, because this is, first off, they spent way too much money on this motherfucker. Way too much money.
And that was 90s money, right? That was
yeah, man. 1997. And then second of all, I love that Wesley Snipes, even when he's playing a cop investigating a murder, has a scene where he gets to do kung fu.
Look, that will always be in every fucking Wesley Snipes contract. This dude could be doing Othello and find a way to do some smooth fucking karate.
Yo, at one point I started laughing because he fights a Secret Service agent in an elevator. And at one point, they're blocking each other's moves so much, and it goes on for half a minute. And I just started laughing because I'm like, bro, this is fucking insane. Of them just blocking each other, the same moves.
Man, I miss 90s Wesley Snipes, man. Fucking Drop Zone. Fucking
Passenger 57.
Passenger 57, yep.
I just miss these types of movies. Like, shit, I would take another Executive Order, bro.
Yeah.
That movie's fucking insane, too. Also from Warner Brothers. I was like, damn, Warner Brothers put out some just fucking insane movies in the 90s. Because, like, they also gave us The Fugitive. That was in the 90s.
Yeah.
All these movies are insane where you're just like, yo, y'all spent way too much money on all these.
Honestly, yeah. In general, I just miss 90s cinema. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Rewatch Memories of a Murder. That shit is still one of the saddest movies ever, but still great because that was also on Tubi. I was like, fuck it.
Really?
Tubi's getting Bong movies now because Snowpiercer's up on there too.
All right, fuck.
Also on Tubi, watched Frost Nixon, starring Frank Langella and Michael Sheen, directed by Ron Howard. About the Frost Nixon interviews on Tubi.
Oh, okay. I've never seen Frost Nixon. It's always been one of my lists.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Moving on. Rewatched because they put it back in IMAX for 1 week only. Went and saw Oppenheimer and I've lost count. Just want to say that is the best looking print I've ever seen. Like, you could tell that motherfucker was fresh. Like, you could tell they pressed a new print. That I've never seen a more pristine film print in a minute. Yeah, bro. Like, I just cannot not watch this in IMAX. Like, after seeing it in IMAX the other day, I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch this again until they re-release it back in IMAX, because like, it ain't the same when I watch it on my TV. It just ain't the same.
Fair. It's fair.
It's not the same. Yo, tell me how I went 2:30 on a Monday, still almost sold out. Still people clapping. And I could tell that was people's first time seeing it too, because the dude in front of me, when the bomb went off and they're in the Trinity test, that nigga sat up like this. And then the dude in front of him, when it got to the last hour, when we get to the Strauss reveal where Strauss pulls the Vince McMahon where he's like, "It was me, Oppenheimer. It was me all along." Like when that's revealed, you should have seen the nigga where he was like leaned back. He just went like this too. He's just like, for the last hour, I was just like, damn. I was like, all right. And then
I love how you describe it as the Vince McMahon.
Whenever there's a reveal, that's what I use. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. I'll never forget that. I remember watching that WrestleMania where they finally revealed who was torturing Steve Austin. And Vince McMahon throws off the hood. It was me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
Shit.
I mean, that's one of the most famous gifts besides him crying and giving the rapid up sign.
Right.
But still wild that this movie still has people in the palm of its hands 3 years later. And at the end, everybody still stands up and gives a round of applause, even though that is one of the most downbeat endings in recent.
Look, it's a testament to how good that fucking film is.
Yes. Tell you what, this rewatch has got me very scared because I'm like seeing the end of the movie and just seeing the world cover in nuclear fire. I'm just like, oh shit, man, we are 2 minutes away from midnight now. So that's it for all I've watched. Let's move into trailer talk.
We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, a.k.a. He Who Remains.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.